Hey y'all, today we're going to talk about my Overdrive Oopsie. That's right, I am one of the poor suckers that sprang for the RLC Overdrive. If you're not familiar with that, I really think I'm probably the only channel that's not covered it yet. But basically, Hot Wheels has the RLC Club where you can get cars like this membership car and other RLC products, Collector's Edition Hot Wheels. You would normally pay $10 a year for the chance to buy some of these that every member can get, and then also some limited editions that you basically just have a chance to get off their website. I assume that if you're watching this video, most of you are either familiar with it or you're brand new to it, which is kind of a big swing, but just bear with me for a minute. So the RLC has had complaints over the past few years about people not being able to get the castings they want. And a lot of that is blamed on things like bots or people that have automatic programs where they go in and buy a bunch of the cars. You know, they're limited in number, and so people that are actually logging into the website are having a hard time getting those. Now, Mattel put out something called the Overdrive this year where you pay an extra $100 on top of your RLC membership and you automatically get every RLC drop except for a couple of sets that they come out with usually around the first of the year. Now, to me, this was interesting because it saves me from having to be around a computer in the middle of the day. And there are going to be some really hard to get castings later in the year that I wanted to make sure I didn't miss out on. So the RLC membership car this year, which is available to all members pretty much all year round on the website, is this Kawa Bug A. This was the first car that would be purchased for Overdrive members where you don't have to do anything. As long as you don't cancel it, it automatically buys it for you. I tried to get on and cancel and couldn't cancel, and to be honest with you, I forgot about it, and so I ended up with this car anyway. If you're in your 40s like I am or older, you probably remember back in the 90s like the Columbia House and these different programs where you would order all these CDs for like a penny, and then you'd have to buy like so many CDs at regular price. But where they really got you on those programs is that they would send you like one a month unless you canceled it. So if you forgot to cancel it, a lot of times you would get like a CD or a cassette that you didn't want, right? And so this RLC Overdrive program probably works like that. And if you're the younger crowd and you don't know what a CD is, well, look it up. I don't know what to tell you. Either way, so this program, while it does have its pluses, it does have its negatives as well. And I will say also, honestly, to me, it's almost as much of a hassle remembering to cancel the releases, because we've had the McLaren that I didn't really want, and we've just recently had the Mercedes that I wasn't interested in. So, you know, if you don't forget to cancel those, that's $30, $35 that's getting charged to you that for something that you don't really want. So, you know, for most people, it's a good idea if you know you're going to be buying all of them, but it's still worth it to me just to make sure I have those releases we're going to have later in the year. So moving on from that fiasco, I assume that you still probably want to check this car out. I will not be opening this car. As I said, it's not something that I actually wanted to purchase myself. It's just something that I ended up with. So this one will be moving on down the line. But I did want to take a look at it since I have it here. And kind of talk about the good points, because it's not a bad car. It's really not. The membership cars are usually pretty solid, I'll have to say. Now, in saying that, I don't think I've ever kept any of them. The closest I've ever came was probably last year, the Mustang Cobra. But they are a little plain compared to some of the other releases that we have, I guess we'd say. So starting off, just get this out of the way, you know, they always come with a patch, if I remember correctly. I will say this patch is pretty cool. I like this. I don't know what most people do with patches other than just kind of like, you know, set them in a display case or something. But this one's really nice. It has the flame on it. RLC. It's like a gear shifter knob. Like, I would be tempted to actually just keep this. I don't know what in the world I'd do with it, but it's nice. And then they come with these old school style pins. Again, not something that I'm interested in or collect. But if you do, it's cool. And to be honest with you, I really kind of like the stuff that comes with it more than I like the car itself. But I digress. Most of you are probably interested in the car, and it is a nice car. It says 2024 Club Car, Kawa Bug A. This is the third release of this car, I believe. If we've had more than that, I apologize. That's just the ones I'm familiar with. The first one we had was in blue with the surfboard gear on top. I loved that one. And unfortunately, that is one that I missed because I think I either forgot about the drop or I was working and couldn't get online to get that one. And so I was really hoping that it would come down, and it never did on the secondary market. The price is up there, and unless it comes down, I'll never get one of those in blue because I don't want to pay that high price for it. So that's what you run into a lot with these RLC drops. If you don't get one initially, you're probably not going to unless it's something you really like, because you're not going to want to pay that price for it. Now, fortunately, we did also have this selection series come out pretty soon after. I ended up being able to get this because as a member, you can always get the selections card. And I absolutely love this. And to be honest with you, I actually like this more than the blue one, so I lucked out. Now, a lot of people may not. That's just my personal opinion. We'll be opening this. I've already opened it. There's another video that we'll link up here, probably at the end of this video, if you want to check out the review on this. But we're going to go ahead and pop this one open, just so you can take a closer look at the casting. And honestly, another thing I don't like about the club cars, I get it, but I prefer these acrylic cases. I know a lot of people don't. A lot of people prefer the cards. That's just, again, my personal preference. But just kind of give you an idea of, some of the reasons I didn't want this car. The biggest thing to note, of course, this is the same casting, but obviously you have this surfboard gear and, kind of the beach theme going on here, where you don't really with the club car. The club car is just kind of a more regular style Beetle, which to some people that may be more appealing, and I get that. I don't really dig the green Spectra Flame paint. I kind of think it would have done better maybe in a different color. I would have liked orange. I think orange would have looked really good here. And to be honest with you, if it had been orange, I might be a little more interested in keeping it. I will say, though, that the interior, this kind of like creamy white, looks really good against the green. And you do have this little accent stripe down here. White wall tires, and the wheels kind of look the same on these cars, but they are a little bit different. I think these are just a little bit wider, and they kind of have some slots in them on the club car. So there are some variations in the cars themselves, and to some people that might be appealing, just not for me. Overall, this does have the opening trunk as well. And let's see if we can get this popped open here. And this is actually a feature I forgot about when I got this car until I was almost done with my review. I just happened to notice the hood had a little bit of a gap on it. But you can see here, not a badly detailed engine, especially for what Hot Wheels normally puts out. And as far as I know, the one on the club car is basically the same. So that's kind of the same level of detail that you can expect on the club car. So not a bad casting at all. Even if I didn't have this one, I still don't think I would be super interested in this car as it is. Like I said, maybe in a different color. Even if they had released this in a plain blue, where I didn't catch that first one, it might be something I'm a little more interested in. Just overall, not the package for me. But let me know what you think. Is this something that you picked up, or is it something that you're interested in? One thing I will note, normally the club cars you can get for a pretty decent price on eBay. These are going a little bit higher than I expected. I kind of get it because, at least for me, when I buy this from the RLC, I'm paying $35 for this to have it shipped to my house. That's on top of my $10 that I pay for my membership. So I guess if you were only going to get a membership car, it would cost you about $45, $50, maybe a little less. Just depends on where you're at. But these are going for around $45 to $50, sometimes a little bit more, and that's shipped on eBay right now. So that's kind of what you're looking at if you are going to buy this on the secondary market. To me, if you want this car, go ahead and purchase an RLC membership. Buy this car. You're going to be getting it for around the same price, at least if you're in 2024. Now, if you come back to this video in 2025, you're out of luck and you're going to have to get it off eBay or somewhere. But if you're in 2024, join the RLC. I'll leave a link in the description. It's $10. You can pay to have this shipped to your house. And, if there's anything else in the RLC that you want this year, then you'll be able to get that too. And you'll already have your membership bought up. Or maybe maybe the best thing would be to wait until there's something that comes along that you're interested in. And, buy your membership maybe a few days before that. Don't wait to the last minute to buy your RLC membership if there's a drop that's releasing, because it's a good possibility you'll have some type of technical issue, right? Get used to the system if you've not ever used it before, and just kind of have everything prepared a little bit ahead of time. That's some of the best advice I can give you for the RLC. It's kind of notorious for being glitchy these days, which is unfortunate. Just another reason that, especially as a reviewer on YouTube, that I wanted to have the Overdrive. It's worth it to me, although I can completely understand why most people thought it was a joke and weren't really interested in it. So whatever works for you, it just kind of is what it is at this point. But that's my Overdrive experience and my review of this club exclusive Kawa Bug A. Not a lot to it. We'll do a quick walk around through for you if you're still interested here. I think you've probably seen pretty much everything you'd want to see at this point. Nicely detailed casting. Of course, the Spectre Flame paint and the Real Riders are what you're looking for here. And, if it's your flavor car, it just is. So, let me know in the comments, did you pick this one up? Did you purchase the Overdrive? I think that's the more interesting question here. Let me know your experience with both. And be sure to check out the review of this car that we have up here and some of our other RLC videos as well. Appreciate y'all watching. Hope you have a great day. Happy hunting, y'all.